Welcome back to another episode of the Bear Trap on the Boom Bust channel, Bears podcast by a Bears fan. I'm your host Terry, and today talking about our 4th round pick for the Chicago Bears. Going to knock this out real quick and stay tuned for the rest of the picks. I'll be reacting, I guess, to them. So this one came as a shock to me, to be honest with you. We took Joel Iyiegbuniwe, I believe is how you pronounce it, out of Western Kentucky, a program that I'm pretty fond of, but a guy that I didn't know about. I make no bones about it. This is something I do. I have fun with it, but I can't do everybody. Got a limited amount of time to do this stuff. And so I do focus on having quality evaluations at the top. And so sometimes there's a lot of players that go through the cracks. But anyway, we're talking about a linebacker that was graded out by the media as like a 6th or 7th round, maybe a 5th round pick. We end up getting him in the 4th round. So there's one thing there, but the media has their own grades. Each team has their own grades. Now for me, there's no real tape on him actually, so I wouldn't been able to watch him anyway. But I would suggest for people that can tolerate watching or like to watch, there's the Alabama versus Western Kentucky game from last year where Forrest Lamp became pretty popular. You could watch that game and get a good sense of him. I went through about half of it. So take the caveat, half a game. This is one game and it's one game from last year, but it is Alabama and you had some 1st round picks on that team. So you're talking about if you want to see somebody versus a great O-line, Alabama's a good place to look. So I've been doing this for a long time. It don't take long to see what type of player I'm looking at. And, he reminds me, a little bit of Danny Trevathan when you're talking about a smaller, undersized linebacker that just, uses his motor and, short area quickness to win. That's what I see on tape. Honestly, the biggest thing for me and the first thing I look for is how is he taking on blocks, especially against Bama? Is he scared or is he able to get off of them? And I don't think he was scared to take on blocks at all. I think even if he doesn't have the moves to win against a person, he's going to keep fighting to get off that block, which I like that scrappiness. Now they use him a little weird. He played on the edge a lot, but this guy's 6'1", 229. He's not going to be on the edge at all for us. And I think against smaller opponents or smaller school opponents, he was able to overpower them or use his speed around them. Against Bama, he just showed that he had to fight a lot, but I'm glad that he did fight. And he wasn't overmatched, but he didn't win every battle, but he still fought. So I like that, but he's not going to be on the edge for us. I'm thinking special teams. Now, somebody was upset with me because not upset with me, but somebody mentioned that I talked about maybe releasing or trading Danny Trevathan. And I'm just saying I don't know. I'm not saying that's the plan. I'm just saying the Bears might be doing that. You never know. Maybe they don't want to deal with the injury history or maybe they want to just be young all around. But this continues to add to that fire. Now, that's kind of who the player is. Now, talking about the pick. Getting another linebacker after we got Roquan Smith. We all celebrated on Thursday. This is our linebacker. And then we go get another one with our 4th round pick after trading the other 4th round pick. There's going to be questions. For me, I'm not getting too much caught in a position. I do in the past, and I usually think so much about it. But honestly, you just don't know. And people look at the draft like you're going to get starters with every pick. And there can be talent all over the draft, but for the most part, you're not going to have all your draft picks starting. So just because you get a linebacker doesn't mean, or you say, we got Roquan, why we get another linebacker? He can't start. Just because he doesn't start doesn't mean it's a bad pick because, again, you don't know what happened with Trevathan. You don't know what happened with Nick Kwiatkowski. You also add some special teams quality to it as well. And then for those holes where you're like, oh, we need this or we might need that, there's other veterans that the team might have on their list to go after to fill those holes. Because again, not every draft class has the players that you want to fill at certain positions. So I'm going to trust that the Bears looked at the board said the guys available don't really float their boat. And we got guys in the free agency left, or, somewhere maybe a trade target that we can fill those really glaring needs. So I'm not going to get too upset about getting another linebacker. Honestly, at pass rusher, this draft's been crazy, and it's because these picks aren't really super talented. So again, they're all really closely rated in my opinion. And so people are going all types of places. So you got Kamoka Torea, who I thought would be available in the 6th round. He's already gone. Chad Thomas went in the 3rd round, and I thought he would fall because of character concerns. So a lot of the rushers are pretty much gone. And there's no good 3-4 interior linemen this year, except at the top. So you don't really got that. We got 2 starting corners and a nickel, so getting another corner isn't a big need. We put in a lot of receivers. It'd be nice to get a tackle, but honestly, these tackles, even if you see them going early, they're not that good to me this year, besides the guys up top. So honestly, I'm not too mad. I'm going to sit back and see how it works out. I'm not a huge fan of this player per se, just looking at it. I mean, he ran a 4.6 at 229. 4.6 for a linebacker is not bad. But at 4.6 for a linebacker is not bad, but at 229, I would want to see something faster than that. So, I don't know. I'm really in the middle, in the gray area with this pick. Not mad at the position or whatever, but as far as the player, it's a real wait and see. So, I'll have to think about it a little bit and see what we do in the next round. So anyway, go comment section. Let me know what you think about this pick. Thumbs up, subscribe, share it around, and remember, stay up and bear down.